So there was another PSA special, and I had to take advantage of it. So it's what I'm going to be going through is 50 cards that are going off to PSA for their 1970s special. Half the order are for my 71 set that I'm trying to completely grade. And then the other half were just other cards that were either in just super nice shape and wanted to get them graded, or just things that even in lower grade are valuable to grade, and just kind of a mishmash of the others. But they did this week have another 80s special, but I couldn't afford to send away another order. So this it's all like you get 30 days or 28 days to ship it from when you do the order. I think the due date for this order, or at least to enter it in, was like last day of November, and right now it's December 6th. So you just have to mail it within like 3 weeks, and then you still get it in time. But I've graded a lot this year, which, like I said in another video, was kind of my goal for the year. So I'm glad that that's kind of that focus kind of materialized. So it's I'm gonna run through these 50 cards, all 70s, and I've done my usual of for each one I have my guess column, and then my hope column, which is kind of maybe an unrealistic guess or kind of pushing it, or like my biased hope guess type deal, like and sometimes there's nothing in that column because my guess, I'm like, okay, you know what, that's pretty much, it's not going to get better than that. So I got all these. I'm going to go from card 50 on back, and we'll run through these, what's going to PSA, and then when this order comes back in like 2.5 to 3 months, then we'll do a blind reveal. So I found this and stuff I hadn't looked through in like 30 years. 30 years? Yeah, maybe 30 years. That's scary. If you guys grew up in the era, you know, teenager in the 80s, my friend actually was lucky enough, so when we were in our early 20s and the early 90s, he actually bought an 87 Grand National and had it for like 15 years, and I wish he had never gotten rid of it, because this car was crazy to ride in. For those of you who don't know, this was shocking. It looks like a mama's car. I mean, it's just a Buick, but fastest U.S. production car in 1987. And let me tell you, this thing was crazy to go around town in and hit the highway. And he got rid of it, I think, like, I don't know, like the early mid 2000s. So, but that was and this doesn't show a lot of detail of like some of the other ones and models that we built of this. We were like obsessed with this car. This came, you know, around the same area as when they had the Monte Carlo SS, and you know, other sleeper cars. The GNX was the twin turbo version of this. The Buick Regal T-Type was just different colors. The Grand National only came in black. Our buddy Rich, who's a little older than us, had a gray T-Type, which I think looked pretty awesome too. And this is HO scale. They came out with these in like the late 80s, early 90s. Monogram Mini Exacts, they were called. And HO scale meaning, you know, they're scaled properly for the HO scale trains. They're proportionate to the same scale, like those big rigs back there. Tractor trailers are HO scale also, so they're scaled appropriately. Like they're not like, you know, dwarfed by the train, or they're that, you know, you don't see a rig pull up and it's like bigger than a train, you know. So like a standard Hot Wheel is not HO scale. You can see it's just, it's way out of scale compared to, so these were basically designed, they're kind of designed for model railroaders. They came out with a whole series of realistic looking cars. So you could see kind of that this, proportionately, this, even with the tractor trailers, it's just a regular Hot Wheels. See, it's not scaled proportionally for HO scale. I forgot what the scaling is for Hot Wheels, but they, some people would use them on their railroad layouts, but they weren't scaled for them. So just a little, toy talk there. All right, we're going to start with the, I'm not going to show the list each time I tell you what's on it, but I'll tell you what, I wrote on it. So 78 tops, strikeout leaders with Necro and Ryan. I have a guess of an 8 and a hope of an 8.5. Just a crazy sharp card. There's some little print black on this. You might not be able to see it, but I looked at it. I was looking at all these with my, my hobby goggles, and looking real close. And similar to like the Alan Trammell rookie from '78, which has a lot of blotching on it. This one did, and otherwise it might, the corners might have been 9 worthy, and it's a little off center to the left. So I thought, an 8 was a realistic grade for that one. And then next up, a 78 Eddie Murray rookie. This one has a lot of little black blotching, but still it's an Eddie Murray rookie. Even if it, grades and it's worth only, like $30-$40 for the grade. What did I guess here? So I just have it, nothing in the hope, just a straight guess of a 6. And I have a note, black print specs. Otherwise, might be a 7. So even with the centering, that can get 7 on centering, but you could see these print dots. So it's just how hard it's going to take it down. So my guess on this is a 6, which still it's worth grading. It's it's still $30-$40 card in that. So the special rate right now is $14.99 to grade. So to me, it's worth it, and it's just getting a Hall of Fame rookie card graded is even though I have one already in a 5, I'll grade another. All right, this 78 Pete Rose, guess of an 8.5. So as sharp as that strikeout leaders card, but without the print dot issues, and really just the centered down a little bit, and the record breaker card number 5, very sharp. So 8.5 is my guess on this, which PSA doesn't like to give out half grade. I really wish they would more often, because there's some cards that just kind of fall in between. Like, I didn't think this was nice enough for a 9, but I think it's better than an 8, and I wish they would see that too. Give it the 8.5, but if it doesn't get an 8.5, it might drop to an 8, but oh well. All right, 76 Eckersley rookie. Scratch across chin, or else it would have been higher. So there's a scratch. So I'm guessing a 6 on this. It'd be a gorgeous looking 6, but there is a scratch across his, right where the light's going right there. So surface issues like that, sometimes PSA dings pretty hard, but you can see the corners are nice. Centering's off left and down, but still, nice card, worth getting graded. Hall of Fame rookie card. So 6 on that. And then this next one I picked up at the Nashville show for like $1 maybe. It's kind of another Eckersley rookie. It's from '76, but it's the ERA leaders, but you got Eckersley on it. So 1976 tops. You got Hunter, Palmer, and Eckersley. 3 Hall of Famers. That's kind of cool. But look how it's just, I mean, the centering on this one's awesome. Maybe just a little to the right. But on this one, again, I put a note. Don't know how the black print dots all over are going to affect it. But I'm guessing a 7. I hope it doesn't take it lower. But you can see, again, black print dots on this. So if it wasn't for those, this might, be in, 8 range. So, but guess on a 7, hoping the print dots don't knock it lower. And then next, so you're going to see a little cut-in of a little video inserted right here showing where these next 3 came from, or at least, the original holders from almost, 35, 40 years ago. So use a little bit of a twist in my normal video programming, and I'm going to insert a clip right here. All right, look what I can do. This channel's going downhill that it wasn't that hard, but I hate messing with technology because I've been fine with it. I mean, of course I do YouTube videos, but splicing and editing. So we interrupt this regularly scheduled video to show you something of where those last 3 cards came from. Next 3 cards, not last 3 cards. This is a flashback or whatever. You've just traveled back in time. This is being shot before. Anyways, I'm like, hey, this might be a good idea. So the Nolan Ryan 75 Mini, right? It has been in this mid-80s screw down since the mid-80s. When did I pick this up? I might have, now this might be closer to I worked at a baseball card shop, 87, 88, 89, kind of in those years there, when I was in high school. And sometimes the owner would, he'd buy a collection. He'd say, hey, you want this for $10? I'll give you this for $5, making quick money off of me. So I know that's where a lot of these 75s I got, and then ran home as fast as I could. No sleeve. I mean, those were hard to come by. I didn't have sleeves. So this Ryan has not, and luckily with these holders suck. If I were to shake this thing would slide all over. So luckily it hasn't been crushed or damaged like with the, the metal screw holders. They can do some damage if they're screwed down too tight. So these are just these weird plasticky 2-part screws. So this is where Ryan has been. There, 2-part screw there. See? So Nolan Ryan has been. Let's say it's been in here since '88. So what's that make? 98, 08, 18, 35 years. Poor Nolan. Poor Nolan has been in here. Is it loose enough yet? No, I'm not gonna do all 4. Just get it loose enough so he can get out. So this is where the one getting sent off to PSA came from. Okay. Mr. Brett, I know I got this one from Dennis, and I think it was at a card show so maybe this was like 89. So I had, maybe I had other things in here, and then they got kicked out when I got this Brett. But I remember pretty vividly, I'm going to say I helped him work at a card show in 89, and he immediately had bought this. I don't know what he paid for this, or I don't know, a stack of cards, handed it to me, said, hey, you want this? Give me $20. So I bought this Brett Mini, and then I think at the time he was paying me like $3 an hour under the table to work the show. But, I mean, come on, I was 16, 17 years old, and, I mean, it was the late 80s. That was a lot. I mean, a pack of cards was still, 40 cents. So, I mean, you could still buy, I mean, that was a couple of years, I mean, you could still buy a whole dang box of Topps when they came out for like, what, like $14.35 or whatever. So Mr. Brett, the guy's name was Dennis, the card owner, and I don't know if he's still around. So there's the Brett Mini. And last one in these cases is the Yount, full size. So I figured just, I don't know, if anybody's curious, it's, kind of, I mean, for me, it's fun to think, I've had these for how long, and now it's, it's time to get them graded, because they were, at the time they went in these holders, they were only, 12, 13-year-old cards. So they really hadn't been handled much or stored away for long. And I don't know where I got this Yount. Could have been, I really don't know. So this Yount has been in here for many years. There we go. And there's Mr. Yount. The full size. Okay. Back to your regularly scheduled program. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed that little trip towards down, old holder memory lane of where I got these out of. But I've had these in holders for decades. So let's get them graded. So the Yount, which you just saw as I took these out of the holders, this is the regular size Yount. I'm guessing a 7. I mean, this is one of those where I've had this happen on other cards where it's like you look at the front and the corner looks worse than a 7, but it's just kind of it's not really, it's hard to explain. Like if you've had stuff graded, like when I've underguessed, it's been a lot of times a card like this where like, oh, that's good, it's going to get a 6. It's got, multiple touched corners, but then on the back, those corners are sharp. It's just on the side with the colored border that it's showing that it's maybe a worse corner than what it is. I don't know. I'm probably not explaining that right, but I sometimes would have guessed like a 6 on this and it gets a 7 because I'm thinking that's a worse corner than what it is, but that's just part of the orange that's missing. But as far as the corner sharpness itself, I'd call that pretty dang sharp. So 7, just a straight 7. Do I have a hope on this? Nope, just a straight 7 on the Yount rookie. All right, now the Brett Mini. I am guessing a 5 with a hope of a 5.5. Basically, meaning that I think it's nicer than a 5, but I don't think it's as nice as a 6. But I'll be happy with a 5 anyways. I mean, so see with these corners, it's not just on the front side. They're actually, come on. Oh, kiss, there we go. They're not as sharp on the back either, so it's not just a case of Like that one's a little dinged. So it's not just a case of, color being kind of scratched off the front. Those corners are definitely worse than the yount. And now this Ryan is gorgeous. And I didn't notice this until I looked at it closer, but I'm still going to send it in because it's a 75 Ryan. It'll have value slabbed up. So look at that. I mean, first glance, you're like 7. But there is something serious right there. And sometimes if it's a surface issue that's on an edge, they might not ding it as hard, but I don't know. It's almost a tear, which is a bummer because look at this card. Of course, it's centered down. So anyway, so I'm bad right edge damage is what my note is. So I have this as a guess of a 4 with a hope of a 5. It all depends on how bad that takes it down. And the thing is, it doesn't go through to the back. So that's good news there. So just this front issue right there. So 4 with a hope of a 5. All right, Rice rookie. If another side edge issue, huh? Oh, right side edge issues. So I'm guessing a 5 on the 75 Rice rookie with a hope of a 6. So on the right side, there's some edge issues. But still, it's another mini, 75 mini. Rookie outfielders with Rice. So yeah, guess a 5, hope of a 6. But just still, hold it up. That's a beautiful card. Okay, next up is a 1974 strikeout leaders with Ryan and Seaver. This is gorgeous. I don't have any notes of issues. I am guessing a 7.5 with a hope of an 8. Focus. There we go. So on the 74 tops strikeout leaders. And then I want more of this guy's rookie just because he will be a Hall of Famer. He should be a Hall of Famer. 74 tops, Dave Parker. I'd like some even nicer ones than this. My guess on this is a 6. Nothing in the hope column, just a 6. Which, for a 50-year-old rookie, or soon to be a 50-year-old card, a 6 ain't bad. I probably shouldn't say, I got to get more and upgrade it. A 6 is incredible. So for something, a 50-year-old Hall of Fame rookie. So I don't have any notes of why, but maybe just overall condition, overall wear. I have it as, and these, I don't know if you guys have seen other people do these where it's taped not to the card, don't worry, it's taped to the sleeve, so then PSA people aren't sticking their fingers in, and because people have had damage done where they've creased it trying to pull it out. So with this, you could just grab that and pull it out. So that's what that's there for. So Mr. Parker, guess of a 6. 73. Oh, this was the untouchable card when I was a kid. And the only reason why I have it is in 2011, I bought a complete 73 top set. And this is from that set. The Schmidt rookie. Just a cool card. Just a cool doggone card. So way bad centering on the back. So I have a guess of a 5. Gosh, this could get at least a 5. I'd be ecstatic. Guess of a 5, hope of a 5.5. Okay, next up, a beautiful 73 Munson. So that Schmidt is a 73 tops. This Munson, 73 tops Munson. I have a guess of a 6.5 and a hope of a 7. Some of the scratches and things that you see are on the card saver. I like the, like on the 76's, the silhouette of the position. So 4th year Munson card. And next up is a Seaver, which at first when I pulled it out to grade, I thought was nicer than when I looked at it super close. So 73 Seaver. I mean, you see, it just looks gorgeous. But what's my note here? It's all gonna depend on if the upper left corner is considered a crease or a tip bend, just a bent tip. So sometimes it just depends on what. So I'm guessing a 4.5 because of that. But if that doesn't really hammer it down, my hope is a 6. So pretty wide range between guess and hope, but it all depends on that upper left corner. So guess of a 4.5, hope of a 6, because other than that corner, this thing is gorgeous. And focus on the Seaver. Focus. Oh, we almost did. All right, now I have sent a few of these dang things in to get graded. I'm sending 2 of them in, the only duplicates that I'm sending in on this order. I think all of them except one that came back a 4 got deemed trimmed. I don't know why. I think they're just making it, just maybe the cuts on 72s were just so all over the place for sizes. But I've gotten multiple of these come back as trimmed. It's frustrating. I'd love to get one of these in high grade. Iconic Nolan Ryan card. So this first one is the one I actually think could come back trimmed, but I'm going to send it anyways. So 72 tops Nolan Ryan. This one, if not trimmed, wow, I got a wide range on this one. So if it's not trimmed, I'm guessing a 4. And if it's not considered, you could see some issues on that right border. If those are not considered, then I have another note in the hope column. So that was my guess of a 4. In the hope column, if the issues on the right side are not considered creases, my hope is a 6 on this one, if it's not trimmed. And if there's not, issues over there. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. So, but between the two, I think this is the one that they might kick back as trimmed. It just seemed to measure up just a hair small, but I'm going to try it anyways because these are different 72s than the ones I've sent before. So another 72 Ryan. This one's just gorgeous. This is a big dollar card in 8s and 9s. So, so this one I have an 8 as my guess, just because of the centering top to bottom. And then I have a nice exclamation point, please grade out, because it's so nice. If this gets a grade, it's gonna be a good grade. Oh man, that is an absolutely stunning 72 Ryan. So I sure as heck hope this doesn't get kicked back with some sort of rejection issue, please. So, all right. Okay, next is not from my 71 set yet. It's an extra 71 of a card that's just, it's worth getting graded because it's a valuable card. So I already have one of these graded for my 71 set, but I had another one ungraded, and I'm like, you know what? For 14 bucks, I'm sending this in. My guess is a solid 5 on it. No notes or anything, just a 5 on the 71 Ryan. So these first 71s I'm going to run through are all just basically duplicates to my set, but they're iconic cards in the 71 set. So like I said, for $14.99, I'm going to send these to get graded. So guess of a 5 on that one. The Ernie Banks, I have a guess of a 5.5 with a hope of a 6. So a little nicer than the Ryan. Next up, iconic card, beat to heck though. I already have one in a 5 for my set, so I'm just, I mean, maybe this one's not worth grading, but when you see what card it is, you're gonna be, yeah, that's a cool card. 71 Rookie Cup, his second year card, Thurman Munson. I have a guess of a 2. It's rough. I mean, you can see very obvious, like, major scratching on the surface. I didn't put a note if there's a crease or not. There's got to be for me to guess a 2. Oh, yeah, you can see, look at the upper. You can see right there, right under between Thurman and Yankees, there's issues and bends, and that corner there has a lot of color loss on the top of it. Even though on back, it doesn't look, you know, here's another case of it doesn't look as crazy on the back as on the front, but so I'm guessing a 2. I hope I'm too hard on this and gets a little better, but still, it's just a killer card. I mean, any of those raw, I'm gonna get them graded. Okay, next up is a 71 Clemente. All right, so on this one, I have a crease lower left, shows more on the back. So that's why I'm guessing a 3 with a hope of a 3.5. So, I mean, not that huge of a difference between guess and hope, but apparently there's a crease that shows up more on the back. But still, I mean, eye appeal wise, that's pretty neat. Sorry, I thought I saw something weird. Huh, okay. Anyways, I mean, that even in a 3 is just, that's going to jump in a holder, and hold it up even a 3. That's, you know, again, I'm probably guessing, what, like $40 range? All right, 71 Marshall, guessing a 5. Oh, just a solid 5. And 71 Steve Carlton. Now, I bought one of these, I think in a 6 at the Nashville show, but I had this ungraded, and it was, to me, it looks worth grading. Guess of a 5, hope of a 6. So, I mean, having another one of these in decent mid-grade, figured it's worth it. All right, now 1970 Rod Carew, guess of a 4.5, hope of a 5. So, you know, nothing crazy value-wise, but just still a, you know, 53-year-old Carew. I just think I like Rod Carew cards, so I'm getting this one graded. That one might be not worth. Now, these, golly gee, when I looked at these closely, it's like, oh, there's like these, you know, because of how the surface is made. I'm like, oh, how is this going to grade? It looks better than what my guesses are, but I love these dang cards. I've talked about this in a couple of videos I've done about them, but 76 Kellogg's Catfish Hunter. Well, maybe I did guess high. Guess of an 8, hope of a 9. I bought this off eBay just like this. It looked so good on the scans. I love the 76 with the red, white, and blue all around it. I love these cards because they were not produced as much as or as high quantities as the regular issue tops of that year, and I just think the pictures are, they're cool looking. They're just, you know, they're just, to me, they're very nostalgic. So Again, what do I have? Guess of a 5. Oh, no, sorry. Guess of a 8, hope of a 9. Come on, I hope I get it. Hope I get it. It's just gorgeous. All right, and now a 70. Oops. Don't worry, it wasn't a card. It was a pack of sticky notes. 78 Kellogg's, Reggie Jackson, guessing an 8.5. Just look at the color on that. Look at the yellow and the banners and the. And then look at this, what these blue and white thingies happening behind there. This is so cool looking. And just, that's classic Reggie. That's gosh, I love this card. So, 8.5 guess. Okay, now the boring part for the last 25 cards, mostly commons, just for my set, trying to get 5s or betters on all of these. So I am only sending stuff, well, looking closer, I'm like, oh, crud, that might not get a 5. There are a lot of these I'm guessing a 5, and that's like a nail biter, because you're like, well, any worse than that, I'm not really going to include it with my set. So the last 25 cards are all, could possibly be more boring for everybody to see than, so I ran through all like the, Hall of Famers and stuff first. But now the rest of these are ones that I still need graded, that I have in ungraded condition in my set, but let's get them graded. So, Bill Lee, 71 Topps. Guess of a 6. Next up, strikeout leaders with Seaver, Gibson, and Jenkins. 3 Hall of Famers again. Guess of a 5. Then 71 Topps, Mark Bellinger. Guess of a 6. Yankees rookies. This is one that's barely a guess of a 5. There's no creases or anything. Just see, it's got weird. You see that kind of white splotchy around this guy here? I don't know. I mean, send it in and try. If some of these don't grade a 5, I'll just jump on eBay and I'll buy myself a 5 off there. But I have these all, I still need to grade 80% of the set, so I'm chugging along as best I can to try to get that completed someday. Frank Reberger, guess of a 6, hope of a 6.5 with a note because of great centering. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. All right. 71 Topps, Jim Nash. Same thing, same exact thing. Guess of a 6, hope of a 6.5. Great centering. Now this has a variation. So when you punch these onto the PSA website and enter your order, then all of a sudden this one came up with 2 versions. So the more rare version is, there's a huge black dot right there. And so this version, on the label, it's going to say blob airbrushed away. So this is the Jim Nash with blob airbrushed away. Had no idea about this variation. Just, so there you go. But guess of a 6, hope of a 6.5. Wally Bunker. Guess of a 5, lower left issues. So, lower left corner issues on Mr. Bunker. So this is one of those, I'm hoping it ekes out a 5. I mean, just, eye appeal looks nicer than a 5, but looking close, it's got issues down there. All right, and The Yankees team. This is one even more than the Yankees rookies. Weird surface rise, left of bat boy, otherwise higher. Hope not lower than a 5. I got weird notes, I'm sorry. So basically all that means guess of a 5, but this is a nail biter because there's some surface bubble or surface rise right here. So I don't know if you, yeah, see? What is that? It's not on the back. So let's try to do it again. There. What is that? Surface rise. I don't know what else to call that. So guess of a 5. I'll hope to heck it gets at least a 5 and not dip below. All right. Ken Tatum. Guess of a 5. Hope of a 5.5. That's not Ken Tatum. Oh, sorry. Jumped the gun. AL rookies, Cox, Gogolowski, and Jones. This is a guess of a 5. I think this is another eker of a 5, hoping it pulls a 5. Don't know why I was so harsh on it, but 71s are tough. All right. Yankees team. AL rookies. And now Ken Tatum. Guess of a 5, hope of a 5.5. That dog hair is just a surface. Like, it's not part of Ken. Just a sharp card. I don't know how much that fisheye is going to kill it, but a lot of times when those aren't like on their face and stuff, they're not as harsh on them. Okay, next up. Mel Stottlemyre, guess of a 5. So here we're going to run into a lot of these where the guess is a 5, and I think it's barely a 5. I think Stottlemyre was a pitching coach for years and years and years in the 80s. All right, Ron Bryant, guess of a 5. Frank Robinson, guess of a 5. If upper right corner does not knock it lower. Hopefully. So, all that means is something was amiss. What? Up in the upper right corner. So, yeah, there's issues up there. So, if that doesn't knock it lower than a 5, that's a beautiful 5 of Frank Robinson. Another one of my favorite cards to collect, favorite players to collect. All right, Ike Brown. Scratch left of his face means guess of a 6. If it doesn't hit it hard, my hope is a 7. Wow, that's sharp. So there's a, what is her again? Scratch left of his face is why I'm guessing a 6. But if that scratch is not serious, then hope of a 7. That is a stunning 71. All right. Wish me luck. All right, let's see. Next up, Ed Crosby, guess of a 6. Chico Ruiz, guess of a 5 because of, oh, not because of, but I have a note. Surface issue by signature could knock it lower. So this is another eker of a 5 where I will be very happy if I eke out a 5. So apparently there's, oh yeah. The little, see if they consider that a wrinkle, that's going below 5. That's going 3 or 4 range. So, but we'll see. All right. Almost through these. Hope you're enjoying this, you know, seeing what's going off to PSA. Jerry May, guess of a 5. Man, was I too harsh on this? What's wrong with it? Well, I guess we'll see if PSA disagrees and gives me a higher grade. Bob Reed, a 5 because there's a bubble on the right border. Yep. So, guess of a 5 for Bob. Chuck Manuel, guess of a 6. Gosh, that's a sharp card. Guess of a 6 on that one. Sandy Alomar, guess of a 5. Okay. Denny McLean, guess of a 5, hope of a 5.5. It's card number 750, right? This is, yeah, one of the last, like, from like 740 to 752 that I needed to get graded. So I'm like, you know what? Send it off. I think there's another one more. So let's look at your numbers. Oh, a 745 and a 740. So Chuck Manuel was 744, Alomar 745, and McLean was. So I took basically the last that I had ungraded from like the last page and a half of my set and sent them off just to have all those knocked out. All right. Garvey rookie. Probably just one of my favorite all-time cards. Guess of a 5, hope of a 6. Wow, okay. And this guy has to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if you grab his 86 or 87 Topps card and look at all his career of stats, all the years of 200 hits, all the years of batting over 300, all the playoffs, you know, he won an MVP, all the All-Star appearances. I don't know how he's not in the Hall of Fame. But anyways, guess of a 5, hope of a 6. And Red Sox team. Nope, Ron Herbel first. So that was Garvey. Guess of a 5, hope of a 6. Ron Herbel. Guess of a 6. Now the Red Sox team, which is a guess of a 5.5, hope of a 6. And Al Oliver, guess of a 5.5. All right. Thank you, everybody. Those are I think I'll get them off, shipped out tomorrow. Have a good night.